Welcome, little one. This is your first day. Your designation will be RP-01/138. We expect great things from you. You have been born into dangerous times. A sharp mind. Welcome, little one. This is your first day. Your designation will be RP-01/138. We expect great things from you. You have been born into dangerous times. A sharp mind can be the key to survival. But as often as not, it will be your inherent physical traits that win the day. And in this regard, you will be superior to your more common brethren. For you are a commando, an elite unit, something truly special. Your weapons, your armor, and most importantly, your brothers. The Eifer of our world hunt in pods to bring down much larger prey. So too shall you join with 3 brothers and become fierce hunters for the Republic. Now, join your pod and embrace your destiny as their leader. Join Delta Squad. Delta 4-0, your foundation, a pure and uncomplicated soldier. 6-2, the heart and soul of your team. And 07, the fiercest hunter of all your brothers. You are each a piece of a whole person, and the Republic will call you to defend and give your lives if need be.
Sergeant, get those troopers into the gunship.
Ready for liftoff. New gunship. Okay, Group B, let's move it. Let's go. Push those cannons to the stern. Load the ammo and the ordnance. Let's go. Let's go.
Sir, we're gonna split up for the drop, but we'll meet you at the RV on Geonosis. See you planetside, sir.
Does not respond into signals, but is believed to be a techno-union armed transport.
Welcome to Geonosis 3-8. It's nice to see they finally unhooked you from the simulators. I've been assigned as your advisor, and will be your eye in the sky until further notice, or we all get killed. Once you are on the ground, you will rendezvous with Delta Squad. Delta 6-2 is nearby. Your first objective is to find him and link up. The squad objective remains: find Sun Fac and eliminate him. I will be issuing further orders as you go. Good luck, Commando. Okay, we're above the LZ. Hook in.
Look out!
I will be providing you with support and tactical information as necessary. Tactical information will be displayed on your heads-up display as holographic projections. Text communications will be displayed in this area. Here are your orders. Your primary target is the Geonosian leader, Sun Fac. Delta Lead, it is absolutely vital that Sun Fac not escape. Delta Lead, are you alright? You just took an anti-infantry round. Your vitals don't look very good. Heal yourself with Bacta before you go any further. There's a medical station in your vicinity. Lead, your vitals are scanning 100%. You are ready to proceed.
They're in the trench! Pull back together, Victor! Pull back!
New objective uploaded. Get over to the crashed gunship. Updating location to objective tracker. The objective tracker will point towards your next target. Secure the area in front of the crashed gunship.
There's too many of them!
Hostile unit deallocated.
Well done, 3-8. Move to the next waypoint.
Medic! We need a medic over here!
Hey, 3-5, check it out! Commandos!
If they're anything as good as I hear, they can practically win the war themselves.
Sir, you're heading into enemy territory, thick with droids and bugs. We're erecting barricades as a makeshift defense perimeter.
Droids approaching your position.
Hostiles have broken our lines!
This trench leads to the rear of the enemy lines.
Hostile unit deallocated. Moving to set area position.
There is a gun position near your location preventing our troops from advancing. Recommend you take the thermal detonator grenades from the ammo pallet and destroy that gun position. Add it to your inventory. Excellent. Now lob the grenades at that gun position. Very impressive, 3-8. Delta Lead, squad mate 6-2 is in your vicinity. You should be coming up on him shortly.
Located some enemy droids. Woohoo! Eat plasma, you stupid
You are
droid!
directly behind the turret emplacement.
Have some of that! 6-2 ready to go, sir.
Mark.
I'm linking up to your HUD, boss.
Those sonic turrets are tearing our troopers apart. Lead, I have uploaded a demolition placement location to your visor.
Scorch, I need you to demo that bunker for me.
Good. I'm dying to blow something up.
Destroyed a human.
Commence demolitions maneuver, Delta.
Heads up, squad. Warriors approaching your position.
Just get us inside without killing the squad, okay, Scorch?
The charge is set and ready to detonate. It's all yours, boss.
Advisor, we've got some heavy artillery over here.
Gunship Harkin, en route.
Moving to superior position.
Press on, Commandos. I will continue to monitor your progress from the gunship and provide you with information as necessary. Reinforcements are currently unavailable, so watch each other's backs in there. Remember, Delta Lead, your ultimate objective is Sun Fac, but your immediate objective is to rendezvous with Delta 4-0.
Bugs!
Delta 4-0 is on the other side of this door. Place a charge and blow it. I'll warn him to step back.
Heading for cover. The charge is set and ready to detonate. It's all yours, boss.
Fire in the hole.
Uploading and linking with your visor, sir.
Delta Lead, advise you task 4-0 with slicing that security shield. He is supremely qualified. Your squad status and location is displayed here.
Security shield disabled, we're in.
Move!
You're nearing a secure door leading to the hangar. Activity in the hangar suggests that they are unaware of your presence. I advise slicing the controls to this door and entering quietly via a door slice maneuver.
It's too quiet. Geonosians! Quality shooting, Delta.
Advisor, we've located a pair of Geonosian fighters in the hangar.
We don't want them to be used against us. Destroy them. Target uploaded to your objective tracker.
I'm out. Reloading.
Get clear!
Target annihilated.
Troy!
It's getting a little dark here.
Delta Squad, switch to visor mode.
Switching to night vision.
Droid destroyed.
Switch off that visor, Delta. It's plenty bright in here. Good, now use the demo charge to clear the path.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Alien down.
Deadly. Powering up.
Get clear! That will help, Commandos.
Delta Squad, 3-8 is down. Administer field vector. Hang in there, 3-8. Help is on the way. Delta Lead, you need to keep your squad focused and under your direction. Use your squad commands to get results. We've intercepted communications from Sunfac's planning room. He's located one level below your current position. The Geonosians are aware of your presence and are on high alert. Expect heavy resistance.
On your 6, 3-8. Eliminated a mech. Reloading. Confederate droids encountered.
The opening at the end of this hall is directly above Sunfac's planning room. You can rappel down from the ledge.
Let's get down to the lower level. Delta Squad forming up.
Forming up, sir.
Squad mate 07 is now in your vicinity and remaining covert. Proceed with caution.
07 locking into your HUD, sir.
Getting acquainted with the locals, eh, Sev?
That was fun.
Where's Sunfac?
In the next room, boss. And don't worry, I saved some targets for you guys. Taking position.
Sunfac is making a run for the door. Stop him.
He's made it through.
Delta lead. It is absolutely vital that Sunfac not escape.
Powering up. Ready, sir.
Super battle droids.
Concentrate your squad's fire on single targets to penetrate their armor.
Eliminate target. Take offensive formation. Defensive position.
Skip it up, 3-8. I'm reading a power transfer to Sunfac Spider.
Roger.
This door is locked. You need to destroy the locking mechanism. Delta squad, 3-8 is down. Administer field vector. Hang in there, 3-8. Help is on the way. Clearing the room quickly. By executing door breach maneuver with your squad. Once the charge is set, get clear.
Can you die later, sir? It just isn't a good time now.
Registering noise. Target spotted.
Super battle droids.
Sir, I'd love to help, but I'm kind of busy right now.
I need help, Commandos.
Can you die later, sir? It just isn't a good time now.
Mechanical unit destroyed.
Good hit.
Delta squad forming up.
Forming up, boss.
Delta, begin door breach.
Let's do it. Placing breach charge. Clear. Fire in the hole.
There he is, outside the shield.
Delta lead, assign 07 to sniper position. We need a target on Sunfac.
Give us some sniping,
Sunfac is making a run for it.
Sev, ready to fire.
Sunfac Spider is warming up. Delta, what are you doing?
Buds! Incoming!
He's taking off! Now you've lost!
Got that bug.
Woo-hoo! Yeah! I love that smell!
All I smell is burnt Geonosian. 3-8, my scanners show an explosion.
That's affirmative. Subject terminated.
You see that? That craft didn't look Geonosian. Confirmed. It's unidentified. I'll check the intelligence databanks. Move on, Deltas. There's no time to celebrate, Deltas. As you already know, 3-6's squad has been incapacitated. Their mission was to disable the droid factory in this sector. Your squad has been retasked for this. Intelligence indicates that there are several factories buried deep underground, but they are impenetrable to our large assault forces. Heat signatures emanating from this spire tell us there is a factory below. Neutralizing one of these factories will tip the scales in our favor for the surface battle. Our scanners cannot pinpoint the factory's exact location because of a jamming device located near your current position. First, disable the jamming device. Once that is accomplished, I can guide you to your main target. Our communication will be sporadic. Inside, so you're on your own until that...
Signal lost, sir.
disabled.
Too bad it was just...
Warriors!
Sniper mode. Very accurate. Very deadly.
Covering vector.
Breach that door, Delta.
Aye, sir. Breach charge set. Clear.
Good smell. They're harvesting fither resin, highly explosive in its raw form.
Go, go.
I hear machinery below. Looks like we're on the right track.
That means we get to kill some more bugs, right?
Will you look at this place?
Multiple targets on the bridge.
Lead, looks like a good place for a little sniper action.
That doesn't sound good. Must be the battle upstairs.
This place gives me the creeps. What are these strange egg-like things?
Looks like we're in some sort of Geonosian birthing chamber, gentlemen.
What do you know? They are eggs.
Let's give them a wide berth, just to be safe.
Just when you think they can't get any more disgusting.
Drones on the floor, Deltas.
There's the jamming device, but it's shielded. The controls to that shield must be nearby. Hold it together,
Requires eliminating hostiles before I can help you, sir. 3-8, can you hear me? I'm reading low vital signs from your squad.
EA Sports, within the game. Well, he just took off on that one, and he might have just won the game for him.
You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Yeah, I jump out the booth. Then I might hop through the roof. Count on the rings. My team is the truth, but they some liars to you. And they never sing, but they always shoot. And all of their diamonds are new. And that's why I'm here with villain, cause I really get it. And I need all my honeys in blue. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Make a choice. I need 100 pack for my boys. Deep be hating and talking and hating. I bet you I kill the noise. I've been a man like I'm painting. I boost up my rating. You know how I play with toys. Pop out on any occasion, get standing ovations. They can't help it but rejoice. They all wanna follow me, cause I got my foot on the opposition neck and ain't no apologies. 100 yards, you know I own all the property. Daddy's home, you know I own all the property. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You gotta choose. You gotta choose. You gotta choose. You gotta choose.
It's another one. We got another one. It's her. Who that? Big baby slide through in that drop top. Something about Benz looking cute. That's finest. Her and her friends, big blinks and snatch waist. Yeah, she brought the. Ain't no way somebody daddy ain't gon' give her the spins with her ends. Cause yeah, she did it. She did it again. A few more tracks and this time she bought friends. Big baby on her way up and showed the stairs to a man's. Now salute the general. TGLX got plans, yeah. Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro.
They don't know what they in for. It be coming like this on the intro, what they here for. If they want the heat, you know who to send for your info. Buy my money like Venmo. This music don't work out. I know how to get it from my ends low. How you feel though? Cause hey, they can't rock with us. Galaxy ain't no stopping us. They ain't try to steal my style. I'm feeling like I just shopping. Can't trust him cause he not my. Cause we worried about getting figures. All my ain't father figures. Just know my quick to pop it.
Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro.
Yeah. Turn me up. Yeah. Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line. Do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. You ain't made it till you got stylers go out and shop for you. You ain't made it till they put on top of you. Parading through the city, the whole block come out for you. We just getting started, y'all finna see what we bout to do. Boy, stop, you ain't here, I'm the real truth. Hunters real blue, strips on them still new. Shopping at Dover Street, I'm dripping like mildew. They say you don't visit the hood, dog, I still do. a real one. Only difference, my bill's bigger. I'm still with ya. I just got rich a little quicker. The same man, God handed me his game plan. I ain't perfect, far from it. What can I say, man? I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line. Do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. It felt like yesterday. I was just driving my grandma's Chevrolet from South Carolina.
Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's all up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff, and what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, for these Kansas City Chiefs, they, of course, were Super Bowl champions 3 years ago. The win over the Niners in Miami. They fell to the Bucs in Tampa a couple years back. They had the blown lead in the AFC title game against Cincinnati last year. And now they're back, making their third trip to the big game in 4 years.
And their recent history only increases the urgency to try and win another Super Bowl title with this group.
Meanwhile, it took until Super Bowl 52 for the Eagles to lift the Lombardi Trophy for the first time, and not too many players are left from that squad 5 years ago, but this new group is looking to write a new chapter of Eagles lore.
Yeah, we certainly all remember that performance in the win over New England. Nick Foles throwing for 373 yards, catching the Philly special that will go down as one of the most iconic play calls in Super Bowl history. Now they're back and looking to make it 2 titles in 6 years.
The hype and the talk is over. We're set for the big one. Super Bowl 57. Away we go from Arizona. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
And we all heard about it in the offseason. There were many questions asking if Philadelphia might consider bringing in another quarterback to replace Jalen Hurts. He answered emphatically, "This is my team," and he led them to a Super Bowl appearance. A well-deserved moment for this quarterback who just kept his head down, kept working, and eliminated all the noise.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Play action. Here's Hurts. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Philadelphia. So a long play for our first points in the Super Bowl.
No doubt about it, and what we see here is something that we saw all year long from them. The ability to strike from anywhere on the field. How about the way they got it started in this one?
For the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-0. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
You can't help but continue to marvel at how well this man's career has gone so far. Now in his 5th season as KC starter, he's never missed a conference title game, and he's taking the field in his 3rd Super Bowl. Simply dominant, it's easy to envision him being one of the top quarterbacks for many years to come.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Hassan Reddick coming through with a stop there and a tackle for loss to boot.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Hands it off out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stump that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. To throw, it's Mahomes. Screen play, McKinnon. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before you get the first down.
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Okay,
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that they have to pump the ball. They've done so with that first run.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Another run with Sanders. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Brent, what were they thinking on defense there? It looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. That escapes the sack. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Throwing is Hurts. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. And Kansas City's offense now set ready to go. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. He finds McKinnon, complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that was well sold by the offensive linemen. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's Jerick McKinnon, his first carry of the ball game. And he's got it down to the 28.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Mahomes to throw. Escape, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Was sacked there by Brandon Graham, coming in and bringing him down to the ground.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
after the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. They'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. 4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tougher rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell us end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He'll start with a handoff to Sanders. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They go play action with Hurts. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll go again with Sanders. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
2nd and 5 now. Hurts. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Quez Watkins, 57 yards. And the Eagles will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Elliott on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. 5 plays there on that drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. What a play there by Fletcher Cox to get in and knock him down behind the line.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Mahomes now to throw. Caught. Kelsey, left side. It'll go down as a gain of 6. 3rd and 7 now. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rally to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Tommy Townsend now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Let's go, y'all. Let's rock and roll, baby. Let's go now.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Airing it out deep for Smith. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Hurts. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall, and they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick.
On the return, it's Tony.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes.
Another catch for Valdez-Scantling.
For a Kansas City touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 54 yards.
And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly here as they are 0 for 6.
Great corner out there, not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14 to 10. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Taking it about the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. This offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 22.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs.
Here's Hurts to throw. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders, 73 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. It seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Elliott now to have the extra point. It's good, and it's 21-10. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And now here comes Kansas City. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he will have the Chiefs' first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. He'll find Smith-Schuster again. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
first down. They'll go to the ground attack. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Mahomes going to throw. Finding Hardman here over the middle. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 13-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. One quarter done, and 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57. Plenty of scoring here already. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the date on the calendar we circle every year. Super Bowl Sunday. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis here with you as we get set to begin quarter 2. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Flushed out right. And he's got it. Touchdown. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, his 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Chiefs have got it back to within a score. In the 2nd quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game. And I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Butker on for the PAT. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. Oh, good return up past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. This offense returns to the field, and the former Penn State star Miles Sanders, we're going to look at him. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the 2nd quarter. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts under pressure, and they got to him again. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. They've got his man, complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, his 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Eagles continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked this about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Elliott on for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive.
And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass, so whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watch the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7 or even routes versus air. They're accurate, the receivers catch it, the ball never touches the ground. Or if you want to take it to basketball, a well-executed fast break, right? Pass, 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 finish at the rim, basket. Yeah, ball never hits the ground there either.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
That one good for 37 yards.
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it 1 play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap, and that's a good start right there.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far, so maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he has another first down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 15-yard line. 14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
Well, I would guess that combined, if you spoke to both defenses, neither side has a lot to celebrate today. They haven't had a lot of stops, but that one right there, that's a big one because they stole points away with that play. And just as importantly, picked up a key stop on an offense that's been really impressive here in the early going.
This offense ready for their upcoming series as we get a look at the former Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith.
We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a third person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his. Because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Eagles are feeling good as they extend their lead in the Super Bowl.
And maybe that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
Running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position and only 1 play to score it. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing now is Mahomes. Screen play, McKinnon. And he's going to be dropped following a pick up a 7 past the 30 to the 32.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt.
This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, This blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Airing it out deep for Smith. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith with his 3rd touchdown in the Super Bowl. And the Eagles are starting to open things up here in the Super Bowl. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Elliott on for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. KC's offense ready to take over. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now McKinnon to start the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race. But how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Mahomes to throw. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Mahomes. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. So that time, Charles, a quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely, because remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And the next-gen stat's going to illustrate just how quickly a quarterback has to process everything, as he was on the ground in under 3 seconds, 2.9 to be precise. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. It's Devontae Smith and the Eagles ready to go on offense. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver, because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done, and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the 10s. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And they'll begin by running the option. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. Going deep here for Watkins. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here comes Tony on the return. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping him on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
On 1st down now, run with McKinnon. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly. And that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Mahomes now to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well. And they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill it for a loss.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. He's got the 1st down and more. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Chiefs are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. It's been quite the game for him individually. A trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route, any route. Whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
Butker now to add the extra point. And it's blocked. And the Eagles have taken it right down Broadway. He's at the 50. The 30, 10, and he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. Well, I think I need to knock oxygen mask after those last 2 plays, CD. The long touchdown followed by the even longer return on the block PAT.
I wonder if after that long touchdown, if someone actually needed a play off and didn't take it, and maybe that was the breakdown of protection led to the block.
Following the bunch, PAT, they're set to kick this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. This offense ready for their upcoming series as we get a look at the former Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best players show up each and every week. Solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again. Our first down carry by Sanders, well defensed as they'll hold him to just a couple. Second down coming up.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved up the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Hurts. Looking here for Smith downfield. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown. Devontae Smith with a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight. And the Eagles are starting to pour it on at the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Throwing up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
First play of the drive, lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Mahomes. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling.
Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
from back at their own 10-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 64 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Another run here with Sanders. And this is going to be an Eagles 1st down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
He's put up numbers in this one by pushing the envelope a bit whenever he could with deeper throws. Well, let's play a little philosophy here. Some plays it works, sometimes they're ready for you, and that time they were on guard. Incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Here's Hurts to throw. He will find Smith in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 16-yard touchdown. And the to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Elliott on for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So this drive spans 7 plays.
And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Now this Chiefs offense gets set to go again. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. To throw again on second down. Mahomes. His throw incomplete.
Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. Who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. Past the 20. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try to run with McKinnon. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 2nd and goal from the 1. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Chiefs get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on.
And that flag accepted.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now back to work for Miles Sanders in the Philly offense. He's toppled the century mark already, receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. He's going deep for Brown. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Eagles. A.J. Brown, 75 yards. And the Eagles are able to add on to their first half lead. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
And he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. A
pass complete downfield. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
A big play there just before halftime. 61 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling with a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight.
And the Chiefs are able to cut into that deficit.
The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
This offense returns to the field. And the former Penn State star Miles Sanders, we're going to look at him.
He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little bit. Well, no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it up. So
So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for Kansas City. And their quarterback's got to be icing his arm in that locker room as we speak. He is on pace to shatter some long-standing records if this pace keeps up. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both teams with some extra time to prepare during this long halftime break, but we're about ready to restart the second half of Super Bowl 57. So let's get back out to Arizona and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Elliott now to kick this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now here's Mahomes. Finding Hardman here over the middle. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
There's the jamming device, but it's shielded. The controls to that shield must be nearby.
Middle close, sir.
Hold on, sir. Gotta kill these scumbags first.
Ready for action, boss.
Delta 07's been hit.
Down in
Confederate droids encountered. That's one less droid. Need a reload here. Wounded Delta here.
Damn. Can you die later, sir? It just isn't a good time now. On my way, boss. Hold on a minute. Wounded, but still kicking. Another dead bug. Gross. 6-2 powering up. Oh. Only 3-8 here. Federation mech destroyed. Helping Delta 40.
Provide, sir.
I don't like the smell of this.
Computer console at the opposite end of this room. Must control the shield to the jamming device.
Right here is the hostile exterminated. Kill.
I see bugs.
We'll beat them, Delta Squad.
6-2 powering up.
Hold it together, Delta.
I'm up for action. 6-2's getting a visit. I'll be back.
Good to go, sir. Powering up. Target terminated.
Here's some help, 6-2.
Warriors en route.
Ready for action, boss.
Jump.
Powering up.
Nice shot.
Watch your back, Delta. Shields down. Let's blow that jamming device.
Yeah, we'll get right on that.
Blasted Geonosians.
A guy like yourself, it just isn't a good time. 6-2 powering up.
6-2's gone down. Warrior! Returning in a moment. Bug down.
Delta Squad. I think we just lost Delta Squad.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, he throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. It's Devontae Smith and the Eagles ready to go on offense. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers,
Absolutely.
though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way. And he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Chris Jones that time coming in with a tackle behind the line.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the gun, it's Hurts. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown. Devontae Smith, 95 yards. And the Eagles extend their lead yet again. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half is getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Elliott now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 43. Throwing now is Mahomes. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Throw right side taken in by the tight end, Gray. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
1st down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 24-yard line. A 3rd down conversion with a strong gain of 14.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
From the gun, they will run with McKinnon. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now a toss here, short side. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
And they'll accept that penalty.
Automatic 1st down.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Mahomes now to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
So it looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. To throw, it's Mahomes. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down.
Oh, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Now back to work for Miles Sanders and the Philly offense.
And really a lot of guys you can highlight on this offense with how well they've played, but he's one of them. He's been spectacular so far.
I'd say he'd be the number 1, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's not just the numbers. It's, as you said, I think you said focal point. Well, that's what he's been, and that means he's created other opportunities because they've had to bring the defense to him. He's run it really well. He's caught it out of the backfield. They're trying to stop him. That means there are chances for the rest of the guys to do damage themselves.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Hurts.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
The Eagles send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game. And really, they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game. And I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw complete there to Smith-Schuster.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets his football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I wonder if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Mahomes now on first down. Caught. Kelsey, left side. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Mahomes. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
You can see the thought process there. With his speed, they were hoping he could pop one. Instead, the coverage was good, and they forced the incompletion.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Ready.
2nd down, back to Sanders. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Throwing is Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City.
The last series for a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
That's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. Screen play, McKinnon able to slither by. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard strike. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. This offense ready for their upcoming series as we get a look at the former Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation. The catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's got some space here. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he gets this up past the 30 to the 32.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Eagles.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
3rd quarter of the biggest spectacle in sport, the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 2nd and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate, bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to look deep for Watkins. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown! Chris Watkins, his second touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Eagles get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. KC's offense ready to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes. That is caught by Smith-Schuster. And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down on the other side of midfield. A big play there for KC. 42 yards.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like 2 excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
Straight ahead they go with McKinnon. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Mahomes going to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush, they have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Back to throw here. Oh, wide open, complete, and in for the Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman, 51 yards, and the Chiefs are able to claw one back. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Charles, this offense, they've been on a roll. 2 drives ago they scored. Remember, last drive was that one-play touchdown strike, so now they're looking to make it 3 for 3.
You know, I talked to a Hall of Famer one time about, hey, when you're on defense and these types of things are happening to you, what goes through your mind? And he told me at that point, it's not about schemes. It's not about what's called from the sideline. It's about players. Who's going to make a play, make a stand, and stop this offense from doing what they've been doing?
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Ready.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 30. They will finally be taken down, but how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the 3rd quarter. Just 1 more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here in Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Folks, welcome back to the biggest stage in sports, the Super Bowl, and now we get down to the good stuff, the 4th and final quarter.
Okay, ready?
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10.
Ready?
Hurts a handoff to Sanders, and nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Second down, back to Sanders. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Hurts fumbles it.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now Sanders. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 128 yards on the ground for him now as he's gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you'll only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
Ball at the 8 here for 2nd and a yard, maybe a touch less. Now here's the option play going left. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. Back to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the 4th. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago is starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they had hoped. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll throw from the gun. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point, where we're at in the 4th quarter, how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not...
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick
Able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes. And this one is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Hassan Reddick in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ealy. 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
We're in the golden high tops as well.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Cut, ready?
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Another run with Sanders. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 139 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Eagles.
Devontae Smith,
82 yards.
And the Eagles add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Elliott on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And the Chiefs offense ready to go again. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now back to throw. Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Hassan Reddick make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
Pardon my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the 1st down sack. Mahomes.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Avonte Maddox.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick him off for the 2nd time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off. They'll run with Sanders. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a 1st down run. When you gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Hurts fumbles it.
But I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was. And Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That could be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, so much for that possession.
Yeah, I think he tried to do a little too much there, partner. He tried to keep it himself. Ended up getting buried in the backfield, and that brings up 4th down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Chiefs offense set to go. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Oh, my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball. But for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll start by running the option to the right. Hurts fumbles it. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
Here we go. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
So that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Sanders. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. Great 15-yard effort on the ground there on 3rd down to keep the drive going.
Brandon, but a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down. And we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
They'll drop to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
But Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal.
It'll be Hurts on the option.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Jalen Hurts,
his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Eagles use the short field to get in for 6.
Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the 2nd time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback, the ability to run the ball fearlessly. And in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Throwing now is Mahomes. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. They're going to look to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. It's Devontae Smith and the Eagles ready to go on offense. He's been a load for them to handle defensively, I know that much.
Well, look at him. He's got 7 catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit, because not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them to handle?
That's right.
Agreed.
7 catches, as you said, over 100 yards.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 14-yard line.
They'll start with the option.
And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. 6 yards there on the keeper at 2nd down.
But that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10.
Brandon, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Okay, break.
They'll go again with Sanders. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away.
2nd and 5.
They'll go with the option, coming right. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He's going deep for Brown.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. And Kansas City's offense now set ready to go. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
But when this game is done, the credit will go to the consistent pressure on the quarterback as a huge cause of this win. Most teams are happy if they get a few of these games per year. You know they're going to watch this tape over and over, try to identify what's working, and keep it going.
Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. They'll set up a throw. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 33 yards that time. And the Lombardi Trophy will rest in the city of brotherly love. The Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way. Didn't have to face some adversity in the journey. And now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
ones here to dance at the beginning. So you know it's only right, that's how we end.
Geonosian exterminated.
Enemy neutralized.
There's the jamming device, but it's shielded. The controls to that shield must be nearby.
Good one.
Taking fire.
3-8. Come in, 3-8. I think Delta Squad has been eliminated.
There's the jamming device, but it's shielded. The controls to that shield must be nearby.
Squad leader, solid shot. Lousy clicker. Need medical assistance.
Come in, 3-8. I think Delta Squad has